Well, welcome, folks, to the Pinnacle, Sigil, Soundbooth Theater, and Outland Entertainment open house, guys. Celebrating a wonderful Halloween, all weekend long with a bunch of panels and games and Savage Worlds goodness. So, welcome. And we've got a bunch of folks on screen, and even more. Boom! Oh, limit 10. We have a limit 10, so we're going to start rotating folks out because we got a whole bunch of goodness. Brian, I'm going to let you go for a second. We're going to bring on Jeff. So I think because of the true talent and amazingness is bringing our books to life with audio novels, I want to start with the Soundbooth Theater folks and Jeff and Emily. So, guys, if we haven't seen these folks before, they're a pretty amazing company. They do great things. And I'm going to throw up a little teaser image of some of the stuff they've done for us right now before we get to talk to them. These are the goodies, and one of them, I think you're that little banner. So just one of them is a book by Mr. Shane Hensley called Crinkle Down. So I'm going to play a little snippet from that right now, and then we'll get to Jeff and Emily to talk about all the other cool stuff that they get to do. But as you look at Crinkle Down and think, this was written by our wonderful Shane. It's a narco horror Christmas themed book because everyone needs some more narco horror Christmas in their life.
Chicago, 1990, Christmas Eve.
Santa Claus is on his way, ready to spread his love and goodwill to all the people of the world.
What happened? Where am I? Dispatch, this is ATF Special Agent Dave Grant. Come in, over.
This is Dispatch. Go ahead.
We just saw something up on Red Onion Mountain. A plane, I guess. On fire. Maybe halfway down from the pot mine.
You seeing what I'm seeing?
Crap. Anybody alive up there?
So no one knows. Knows what? That there really is a Santa. And the bigger thing, the Bigfoot, or whatever?
Oh my God.
That's a lot of blood for no bodies. I've lived in these mountains all my life. You think you're getting out? Who's there?
What in God's name?
I guess we're doing this.
Agent Harkins and I will check it out. Might be messy over there.
God only knows what's out here besides me.
Oh, such goodness. So folks, let me I think we'll do a little bit of cleanup. We got so many folks in here. StreamYard's yelling at me like too many people are joining, too many people are here. So Emily and Jeff, tell us about what is Soundbooth, what do you guys do, and what are some of the projects that we're partnering with you guys on?
Well, Soundbooth Theater is an audiobook production company, number one. We've been making stuff for Audible, like including before the company started, when I just first started narrating audiobooks. It's been almost a decade since I first started making audiobooks, and then about halfway through my career is when I started Soundbooth Theater itself. And we've just been snowballing, the reason I started the company was just because, as an audiobook narrator, what you do is you sit in this booth here and you narrate books and you talk to authors, once in a while, but really it's just between jobs that you're talking to them, and it gets lonely in here, man. You just, it's more fun to play with more actors, And so I decided, hey, let's give this a shot. Let's start doing multicast audiobooks. I got Annie Ellicott I found her in, this is a completely different story that I'm not going to go into, but I found Annie, and she started doing female voices on some of my books. Eventually she started narrating. Justin Thomas James came in, then Gary Furlong, Lori Catherine Winkle, and we just snowballed. Everything we just kept doing better and better. Started getting recognition for the company for all the things that we've been doing in the lit RPG / game lit genre on Audible. And it got to a point where we were so successful that I was able to start our own platform and create our own app. So one of the first things that we did was produce Deep Madness for another board game company called Dimension Games, and Shane was one of the backers of that book and or that game. And so when he got the audiobook, he
was blown away.
And he emailed us, and it's history from then on. We've been slowly being fed, all these short stories from your Wendigo tales, which we all had such a blast producing. We're now, they're now on sale on our platform, and there's 21, 23 stories, I think, from Wendigo Tales that's on our platform now, and also, of course, Kringle Down, which to me has been the most fun that we've had producing Pinnacle stuff and Shane's stuff.
It's
And
no
I'm-
space buns, but I sure like working on it.
Look, we're just looking forward to doing more stuff with Pinnacle. We have Kringle Down 3 in the works as well. Shane's tweaking it, but as soon as we get it, I'll slap those voices down, and then we can throw it over to Ahmed to start on sound effects. So
I can't wait. I write them now with a thought toward, I wonder how Jeff's going to do this voice. And I try to give you a lot of things to have fun with, right? Because that's about half my goal right now, is to make sure it works well with Soundbooth.
Right. So chat. So guys, chat. We're going to do a little quick poll. There are 3 huge properties that are really big in fantasy media right now: Star Wars and Lord of the Rings and Game of Thrones. So vote in the chat right now. One of those 3: Star Wars, Game of Thrones, or Lord of the Rings. And then we're going to have Jeff do a little impromptu audio narration of some text from one of those. Maybe the scroll from the original Star Wars, the wall oath, the oath to go be a Night's Watch, or what's one good from the Lord of the Rings, the Rings poem. So yeah, vote in chat right now, give your comments, and because Jeff is amazing. I've thrown some stuff at Jeff, like, hey Jeff, could you do some audio for this little thing we're doing? And he responded in 5 minutes with an amazing voice. He's a supreme talent, so I think we'll put him to the paces. Okay, Star Wars is winning right now, guys. So we'll give this a couple minutes in chat to percolate. And Emily, so we know you've done a lot of great stuff. Like Ace is on here because there's one of our awesome S5E products, or more than one. There's 2 at least. I think I saw on there our audio drama. On our little one of the ones is on the brand. Let me pull up that image again. And the Covenant of the Six is definitely on there. And
just want to clarify something. The S5E stuff is just pure audiobooks for now. We're waiting on the second installment of the so there's the Covenant of the Sixth by Kevin Andrew Murphy, and Kevin is still working on the second book. Once we get that, and we make that into audio, we'll also be releasing the actual audio dramatized version of the first one. So
good stuff. And then Clint, we saw at least one of your books on there. It's A Necessary Evil Tale, and that's
I tell people, if you want to know what Dr. Destruction sounds like, just listen to the audiobooks, because Jeff did so much. He contacted me wanting to know what he would sound like, and he just nailed it for that. That subtle but always present intimidation that Destruction has in everything he says.
That's great and all, but then when I go to run him in my home campaign and he sounds like a dork.
Wrong.
Is that like the pinnacle of being a creator, where first you get published for your own stuff, and then someone else plays in your playground, and then you see someone else embody one of your characters in a way that you couldn't even imagine? I mean, that just sounds like the coolness that very few people ever get to see. But that just sounds. What is that like, Clint, having one of your characters just come alive like that?
Oh, it's more than one. I mean, Faces of Destruction obviously focuses on Dr. Destruction, but Thicker Than Water was just phenomenal. That was the full length, quote unquote, short story that I did for that. And just every voice, they had it nailed. And I love, I saw on Soundbooth 3 one of the guys reviewed saying he kept waiting for whatever the twist was, and he didn't get it at the end. He didn't realize what it was going to be until the end when it showed up. And it really is something that you could put in writing, but it comes across so much better vocally in a way that I always heard it in my mind. And when I actually heard the story, I got chills. I was like, oh, that's exactly how I always heard it in my head. And it's it's amazing. It really is.
Yeah. So Shane, how is the process of seeing Kringle Down 1 and 2 get audio dramatized changed? Has it your writing for the third and upcoming Kringle Down?
You know what's amazing is, so 3 years ago, I had this idea for Kringle Down, and I just couldn't get it out of my head. And I heard somebody say one time, a writer, and I don't remember who. Somebody asked them, what their process was, or some BS question like that, and they said, "Well, I'm a writer. I can't not write," and that's me too, right? I just can't not do this stuff. So I did it, and I actually wrote it as a script, a screenplay first, and I just don't have. I do have contacts in Hollywood, and that's where we're working on a lot of our other properties. But I didn't have contacts for me to take, my personal stuff out like that. So I thought, well, while I'm working that, I'm going to go ahead and write the story, because that's something I can do, right now. And I can get it published on Amazon immediately. And then, as Jeff mentioned, I listened to the deep dive they did for Deep Madness, and I thought, oh my God, this is incredible. I wonder if they'd be interested in doing some stuff with us. So I contacted the customer service, and out of nowhere, Emily was gracious enough to actually return my email, and we just, from my point of view, I hope they feel the same. We just hit it off, and I was just thrilled to work with them. And then when they did Kringle Down, there's so many little touches in there that I found out when I did their live stream not too long after the first release. Like what is it, Jeff? The sound when one of the elves gets popped, or the reindeer gets popped open. What is the sound that comes out?
Right, there's just a little ding, like a little chime.
Right.
Yeah.
They do just these brilliant little things in there. So, for me to go from, I just got to get this out of my head, to Jeff and crew doing this amazing production of it, it's not only is it just a dream come true for a creator to have, other people enjoy your work and do something with it. But when since I have approached several people in Hollywood with it now after those 3 years, I can, they don't want to read my crap. I just point them to Jeff's performance of it, and that's what they listen to.
Oh, that's awesome. So before we have, it looks like Star Wars is the winner. So we're going to have Jeff read a little bit of the intro scroll from Star Wars. But before we let you guys go, Emily and Jeff, tell us, Emily, what is your favorite growing up Halloween costume that you ever went by, whoever ever did Halloween?
Oh my gosh. Well, I have a few. I did Zombie from Pee-wee's Playhouse, and I pulled 3 all-nighters to make myself a box that I could wear with a curtain around it. But I think my all-time favorite one was a huge flop. Are you guys familiar with Emily Post, the American author and ethicist? So I thought, since my name's Emily, that I would go as Emily Postmortem. And I wore like a Gilded Age-inspired outfit. I got zombie prosthetics, and I printed out like things that, her famous quotes, and pasted them to my bodice. I went to 3 parties that night. Not a single person got it. Not one.
Yeah, I mean, hey, like, you're among friends now. Some of us would have got it. But right? Those are, when you get too creative. I mean, those are the best costumes, though. It's sad when you have to explain them. I mean, it really is. Emily Post would have been that proud. So, Emily, before we have Jeff read, we know the Kringle Down 3 is coming up from Soundbooth for our family of stuff. What other goodness from other properties you guys? What's the new hotness that you guys are promoting on Soundbooth Theater that people can go and get now or get soon?
Yeah, we actually have a Halloween sale. It's a week long, and it starts Monday. And we have 3 really spooky, fun titles coming out. The first one is Vampire Queen Book 1 by Sarah King. That one's really exciting. We also have a very cool immersive experience called Seance. It's a period piece, really creepy. And then the finale of Kaiju Battlefield Surgeon, which I have to turn it over to Jeff to talk about. He is the lifeblood of Kaiju.
Yeah, episode 12 of Kaiju Battlefield Surgeon. I don't know if anyone here has been following that series. First of all, one thing that we've kind of transitioned to over the past couple years, trying to figure out how to make an independent platform work without trying to literally compete with Audible, is trying to figure out, okay, well, how can we approach this with a different angle? And I think our strength is really not just pumping audiobooks out, but the quality with which we approach the medium. And so Kaiju Battlefield Surgeon was written by Matt Dinneman, who is the author of Dungeon Crawler Carl, which is a book that has absolutely exploded over the last couple years. And the thing about Dungeon Crawler Carl is it's like this epic comedy with a lot of horror elements. But before that, Matt had released Kaiju Battlefield Surgeon, which is actually pretty much pure horror. But it's like pure horror in the sense that it's got every single aspect of horror added into it. You have the body horror, you have the absolute splatterhouse, you have the psychological horror, you have the serial killer stuff. I mean, it is a horror smorgasbord. And so what better way to bring that to life than to break out the spaghetti and make disgusting sounds all the way through? So
he's speaking literally. There was actually spaghetti.
So it's as an audiobook, it would have been about 24 hours long, I believe. But we decided, okay, well, instead of dumping like a ton of time into just making one huge audiobook with all this production, why don't we keep the hype going and release it monthly? Do an episode per month, and we've done that. 12 episodes now. The first episode was released last Halloween. The last episode is being released this Halloween, and it's been an incredible ride. It's one of the best things we've done. It's if you guys have listened to Deep Madness, there's a lot of inspiration from that, from the production side, because there was plenty of spaghetti there too. Episode 12, it's finishing here, and the ending is horrifying and heartbreaking. I hope you all cry your eyes out when it's over. And
wow!
Wait.
I'd be remiss as the marketing manager when you mentioned Smorgasbord of Horror. We do have a horror companion for Savage Worlds on Kickstarter right now, so guys, check that out. There is a smorgasbord to play all of the genres Jeff just mentioned. But guys, check out soundbooththeater.com. That's where you can get these. There are a bunch of free Pinnacle products that you don't even have to pay for. You can just grab them for free. Full audiobooks down to samples. These guys do deep dive audios, which is great. They're just even more immersive and more multimedia. And so to sing us out, I think we're going to do the Star Wars one. So let me throw up the text. This is the original scroll from Star Wars, and we'll have Jeff do his amazing voiceovers, and then we'll say goodbye to our friends from Soundbooth, guys. Okay, here it is, Jeff. Go.
Okay, all right. So how about why don't we do this like as Emperor Palpatine?
There you go.
Oh no.
It is a period of civil war. Rebel spaceships striking from a hidden base have won their first victory against the evil Galactic Empire. During the battle, rebel spies managed to steal secret plans to the Empire's ultimate weapon, the Death Star, an armored space station with enough power to destroy an entire planet. Pursued by the Empire's sinister gay agents, Princess Leia races home aboard her starship, custodian of the stolen plans that can save her people and restore freedom to the galaxy.
Oh, brilliant, sir. Thank you. That was amazing. I think we even do. Yeah, that was great. So we appreciate you guys. So again, audience, check out soundbooththeater.com for an amazing Sigil and Pinnacle products coming to you from the amazing talents, including Jeff. Thank you, Emily. Thank you, Jeff. We appreciate you guys coming and celebrating Halloween with us.
Thanks for
Thank you guys for having us.
Thank you,
guys.
guys.
It was fun.
Cheers. Okay, so the let's see. A little more space. So Ace, yes. One of your properties, S5E, was on the promo. Tell us, what is S5E? What is the goodness? What's going on there for folks who have no experience in what's going on? Give us the goods.
Is super heroic role playing for 5th edition. So it's the rule set to play superheroes using D&D. It's awesome. We've played it a ton, made all kinds of characters, made all kinds of Marvel character, DC character, just to try them out and see how it works. But it's been a lot of fun, and creating our own universe is exciting. That
is fantastic. So the give us a little hint about some of the offerings. I mean, it's not just one book, but there's the Kickstarter that's already gone out. It's a pretty packed Kickstarter with goodies. Right. So we have S5E, which is the core rule book. It's everything you need to play supers with 5th edition. Then we also have
the AOR, which is the Augmented Operative Registry, which is our list of all the supervillains and heroes that you can meet in our setting. Lots of baddies for you to put your heroes against. And also we have Midnight City, which is a standalone setting. It's kind of a no man's land city that's been isolated from the rest of the world and has lots of nefarious things going on.
That is awesome. And then we also want to say you got 2 new puppies. What are their names?
Max and Madeline, or Mad Max for short.
I love it. That is so fantastic. Hopefully we'll get hopefully they'll wander by in the background on screen because puppy sightings are good.
They're back there behind me sleeping at the moment.
Oh, we don't want to wake the puppies. That's so cute. Okay, so sir, what is your favorite Hollywood or Halloween memory / costume / middle school goodness? What do you want to share with us on that?
I guess once when I was in the Navy on shore leave, we did a Halloween party, my wife and I, and she was the crow and I was a werewolf, but we ran out of fur for the top of my head. And so I had to wear like this little hat to cover up the last bit. And so when we got to the bar where they were having the costume contest, everybody kept calling me the Jewish werewolf. And it stuck. And so I was the Jewish werewolf all night.
That is fantastic. That reminds me. So yeah, when I was in middle school, I went as like Sasquatch for 1 year, so the full fur costume and the whole mask. And the mask didn't really fit my head, so I kept taking it off, and I lost it early in the night. So I'm walking around with like fur full bodysuit, and really, like, and I was really upset about it because I'm like, "Where's my costume?" But what can you do, right? You can't find a hairy head on the ground.
Now, Chris, are you old enough to have worn the old plastic costumes with the sticky breath mask?
Yes, the sticky. Yes, it reeked.
Oh, yeah.
It was. Yes, and that was part of the reason to take it off. It's just like the rubber was off gassing.
Oh, yeah.
We're giving ourselves cancer as kids. So one dude, we had Trick or Treat Street. And of course you'd hit Trick or Treat Street and then go to the other house. You could like double down. One guy was like, literally was like, "What are you, kid?" And was really angry about it. And on the top of my head, I'm just like, "I'm Armenian." So that was just it. There's a hairy dude running around. And
Halloween disasters.
Right. Yes. So the one time I went as an Armenian for Halloween, but a part of our other family. So your good friend and our good friend and Alita, welcome. So it's hard to get Alita on stream, so we're really pleased you're here now. So thanks for joining us. Since a lot of folks, you do a ton of work for Peg and Sigil. We're not going to do the penguin pineapple thing tonight. We're just not. We're not going to do it. So tell us, folks, like what do you do behind the scenes? What is all the goodness that you bring to all the amazing products that we do with Sigil and Peg? Oh, you're muted. Unmute yourself, dear. Still muted. Oh, come on, Alita. Tell us. You're muted. We need to hear you. Somewhere there's a mute. I think
there we go.
Yes. Oh, beautiful voice. Beautiful voice.
Yes. Hey, so I wrangle artists. I get the art in for these books. Chase down writers for their descriptions and truly try to bring to life what they want for their characters in these books. That's pretty much the big. I also do some maps too for the books. So people have probably seen those.
The ones you've done for Holler are fantastic, gorgeous, love them.
That was a lot of fun. I particularly like the one with the poison stream and getting to do all the effects and going in there. That was great. I really like it when we can pull out something that's just out of the usual. So that was fun.
That is great. And so there is. Here's the thing. Like, we are a small company, but you are a small company in and of yourself because you have to wrangle literally hundreds of artists. What is that? And some of these are the true artistic types. Like, just from hearing the horror stories, we have people who were like brilliant. They do amazing work.
Yeah.
But then they disappear for 6 months because they're on sabbatical in the Amazon, or they just don't. Like, what is it like just like herding the cats of artists?
Stressful. I mean, actually, I can't complain too much about our team. We've got some really great, reliable artists. That I can really count on. You occasionally you'll get some odd stuff going on, but really, I can hear some of the horror stories elsewhere, and I haven't encountered that kind of problem. So basically, it's just. Yeah, we have
for a long time, and we work with people we've been working with for 20 years, so we're very fortunate. And Alita, somewhere out there's a pitchfork mob of artists going, "You don't wrangle me." Alita, she absolutely manages it well, so that we don't have. It's a handful of times, somebody has fallen through the cracks, not been paid on time or something. In the last 15 years, certainly since Alita's been a part of the team. So that is a huge testament, because besides doing art for all of the Pinnacle products, Alita and Aaron have done art for tons of other companies as well. So it is a massive amount of work they do, and they are incredibly well organized. Fortunately, because I'm not that organized.
Yeah, you can't stay afloat without those spreadsheets, really. It's not something I expected to be doing as an adult, but they are important.
Yes, I mean, honestly, we have to bring on Don here to talk about spreadsheets, because the spreadsheets are key on getting stuff done. I will throw Don out here too, because so Alita, one last question for you. Two. One. So speaking of like artists and Shane's had worked for 20 years, like we had folks like Aaron Riley. We knew him before he was famous, and Crumb before he was famous. So what is it like still being able to work with artists like that? Like, do you get to be like picky with Aaron? Like, Aaron, no, we need to change these details, or do you just trust the process and let it go? Like,
well, he's so good at nailing it, though. We rarely have to even go into that direction. So it's like, maybe it's a change of color on something or whatever, but it's not one of those things where you got the figure wrong, or why is their arm sticking out this way, or whatever. It's not an issue with him. So
no, that's amazing. Okay, so last question: what's your favorite middle school / Halloween memory you want to share with everybody?
I think mainly most of my Halloween years was up where it was really damn cold. So your costume was basically like Batman in a parka. Wonder Woman in a parka. So there was that aspect, and I always loved to keep last year's Halloween costume. So if you get out early enough, you can make a second round in the costume with the from last year.
The dirty double dipper. Oh my god, I love you, Alita. Yep. I never would have guessed you'd be one of those kids, but totally fits. Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us, Alita. I'm so glad we got you on stream. We'll get you back. But Alita's amazing. She does so much good work behind the scenes that we couldn't not have her on our open house. So thank you for all the wonderful work you do, Alita. And I mean, it is an amazing amount of work. I can't spoil this, because it would literally spoil our next 10 projects. But Alita's spreadsheets and then all the artists and where the art's coming in and when, it's an amazing a bit of trickery. That really leads to good treats. So thanks, Alita, for joining us. Appreciate you. Okay, Don, your turn, Mr. Spreadsheet. What goodness do you have for us, Don? Like we really put you through the ringer for the last several crowdfunders, but what goodness is coming up for Peg that you're working on now? Can you spoil anything?
Right now, what I think is going to turn into maybe a one sheet for Holler. Literally right now, still finishing up prep for the 3 Holler games I'm running this weekend.
What are you running? So tell us you're being the hero and doing the marathon. So give us a little hint about what you're running tonight. So we'll let you go, and then we'll let you go prep. But what is your game tonight in Holler about?
So this game is one night in Fetcher Forest, and we meet the team of rebels just as they have completed a raid on a secret Umberkirk lab, and they are being chased into a haunted forest that people don't tend to return from, called Fetcher Forest, that I made up for the adventure. I have no idea where it goes on the map. I'm still trying to figure that part out. I'll have to talk to Tracy and Tim about it. But so they've got a tactical team of Kramer Holt agents hot on their heels, and they're carrying this large crate filled with this dangerous prototype for this thing that basically, if you inhale the miasma, it hulks out, and they have just lost 4 NPC members of the team in the attempt to get out of there after some of the guards use the prototype. And so they have to get through Fetcher Forest, which borders the Blight. And so they're trapped between Kramer Holt agents on one side, the Blight on the other, and a whole number of nasty surprises in store for them as they get through the mountain pass and to safety.
Oh,
That sounds fantastic.
Right? I mean, who would have
better
thought
than the other stuff I usually write?
So talking about fantastic costumes, I think this costume of yours from Halloween is a pretty deep dive. So explain this, sir.
So, and I still have. You can see where's my hand on the camera. You can see the stick there. If you've ever seen me on social media or anything where there's a profile picture, my wife made it for me. It's likewise from this. It's from Untitled Goose Game. Which is honestly one of my favorite games ever. It's got the best bit of game writing in existence, Rake in a Lake, as one of the challenges. It's just so much fun. And
you're the groundskeeper here, right?
Yes, I am the gardener at the beginning that gets his head knocked out when you progress. And if you ask my wife will say that I am the human embodiment of the chaos of that goose at home.
Oh, that is awesome. No, so we appreciate it. So again, we appreciate all the stuff you do. We've had you on stream before, the wonderful design corners, and then usually during our streams, because a lot of times you're the mastermind behind setting up and running a lot of our Kickstarters and game changers. So we appreciate all the work you do there. But you need to eat before your game and get your game prep. So we'll let you go, Don. Happy Halloween, sir, and thanks for running so much. Appreciate you.
Yeah, that's
See you,
awesome.
folks.
Your lucky players are going to have a great time, I think.
Oh, and then one more. There's cute little middle school Don.
Oh, yeah.
What is that, last year?
Oh, I should tell the stream that I did a bunch of psychic damage to the entire company like last week when I brought up that my mother is younger than most of the people that work here.
We hate you, Don. Now, where's the kick button? Where is the kick button?
Bye, Don.
Okay.
Bye, Don.
Awesome. Welcome, Chuck. Sarah, we're going to get to you in a second. Thank you for joining us. We've had people behind the streams like Sean and Chuck trying to get on, but StreamYard apparently says no, 12's the max. But before we get to you guys, so keeping the thread, we got the Aaron Riley art, and we're going to reveal the cover of the next Rifts product in the live stream, which is coming up immediately following this. So that's going to be awesome. But before we get there, I want to talk to, let's see. Now, before that, she couldn't make it on stream tonight. She's not feeling well, but we love Christine. Christine is the manager of our customer service team. We want you to be nice to her because this is how awesome she is. This is her middle school. That's Christine, the rock star. We could not share that. This is still her today. It completely embodies her personality. And
it really does.
Right, but when you guys have issues in email info@pegging.com, Christine's the one who's got to handle that. So be nice, and you usually are. You're pretty great fans, but every once in a while. So be nice to Christine because she's amazing, and so we definitely wanted to get that in. But let's see, our next here's our next one. Oh, look who that is! And then her paramour. Somehow these two ended up together in a strong, lifelong marriage.
Oh,
look
wow.
at that.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So you guys, one of the cool streams that we're going to be doing, I believe on Sunday, is the duet streaming. And so give us a hint about what that's going to be about.
Well, if you've ever wondered about how to play a game just one-on-one, like if you're a parent playing with a child, or you just want to play a game with just your best friend, like over Discord, or, just play by email or something like that. Or if you are like us, a married couple who are lifelong gamers, and you're just like, well, we don't have to only game at a game table with all of our friends. That's what we call duet gaming. It's just two people playing gaming one-on-one and having a great time. We'll be joined by Robin and Sean Bircher and by Christian Serrano and Jen Sutcliffe. And we had this stream a couple of months ago, and we did not have nearly enough time to talk. And there were so many questions. So we're going to do slightly longer time this time. And I can't wait. We just have so much fun talking about this idea, because I feel like some people can't quite wrap their minds around that. And so we, and I don't mean to laugh at that, because I do want to be able to explain it so that people can understand it and benefit from it. So join us if that's interesting to you.
Yeah, it was a super popular streaming we did. We ran out of time, and there's just so much more to cover there. So thanks for that. And then you're going to be in the actual play with Sean here coming up at the top of the hour. Give us like 10 minutes between stream, guys. I know we said we'd start at exactly the top of the hour, but we need to go set that up, and it's a little. We need a moment to transition. But the
I'll probably break something.
Right, I've already broken. We need to fix some stuff before we get to the stream. But Clint, sir, tell us. How did you and Shane even meet, and how did you become the guy who could do the black edit, the dreaded, feared, rules brand guru for Pinnacle? How'd that all come about?
Well, oddly enough, I will say that I have told people that my RPG writing career has never been able to get away from Shane Hensley, even before I met him or talked to him. So when Savage Worlds was in original production, I just really, I felt like I really synced up with what Shane was going for, what the whole goal was of just put the things together, stat it out. And just off the original, and I will say this, some people don't know, later on, it became a big game of putting out play tests and betas of games while they're in production. But Shane was putting out test drives for Savage Worlds in early 2000 before a lot of people were doing that. So you could download it for free and try it out and play. And I ran a game for Jody based on Starship Troopers, the movie. Bunch of allies. She led a whole group. And I statted out the bugs. And
co-ed naked shower scenes.
Yeah, and I statted out the bugs using that same thing, and then I put them on the discussion group, and that's when Shane shot me an email and basically said, "You get it. That's exactly the kind of way to stat this stuff up and everything." Now, I had already written a couple of things for Pinnacle by that time as freelance kind of stuff, but I say I've never gotten away from him because the first thing I ever had published was in White Wolf magazine. And I have a copy of that still somewhere in my house buried. And later on, after I'd gotten into Savage Worlds, I was doing more stuff. I pulled that out to, somebody asked me about that article I wrote, and I pulled it out. And when I flipped it open, the first page it flipped to was the review column that was written by Shane Hensley, where he reviewed GURPS Espionage, and we were both published in that same issue of White Wolf from way back when. So I think it was, fate, karma,
misfortune,
doomed, cursed.
And now it's like a second marriage. It really does. It sounds like a second marriage. Like,
yeah.
So before we let you guys go to get prepped for the game and the duet stream, sir, tell me, we mentioned before that one of your properties, amazingly, the Necessary Evil, which is one of the greatest Pinnacle properties, he's got the Soundbooth treatment. There's some more coming, right? So give us a little hint about. I don't know if it'll fit next year. Maybe it'll fit next year, but not this year. Not between now and December 31st. But sometime in the future, there's going to be some more Necessary Evil. So give us a little hint on what that might be, sir.
Well, let's see. I know actually Shane is working on what I think we're planning to be the next one. And as I recall, it's actually a chore for him to work on other things because he's so excited about it.
Well, the next one that people haven't seen yet, we've seen for 2 years, I think is what Chris is talking about.
Okay, Necessary Evil 3, which is going to be our cosmic, level Necessary Evil. Getting out there, going into space. I mean, we're talking, kind of that level of Guardians of the Galaxy 2 of there's a little man riding on a creature in space out there kind of thing. So
it's 75-point characters too. So it is powerful.
Wow.
Very cool.
So
that
good.
Is way up there. Yeah.
My character in Daryl's game was The black hole.
We're gonna use that during the promo now. I'm gonna take that little clip. It's gonna be our thing. I'm gonna push that button to play it every single time we talk about Necessary Evil 3. And I mean, and necessarily the cosmic one. It's so uncontained that there might even be more after Necessary Evil 3. Whoa. That's all we're gonna say about that, people, because we can't spoil too much stuff. Because then you ask us when it's coming, and we don't have good answers because we are mightily fighting for Kickstarter and Game Changer slots. There's so much goodness. I mean, there really is so many good things that are, again, like Shane said, it's been at least 2 years in development already, and so we need to get it to you guys so you can play it and have awesomeness.
I mean, so to be fair, it was Daryl wrote it, and it was pretty flawless right from the start. We played it, and I shared a lot of screenshots with it on my Facebook account 2 years ago when Daryl was running it for us. Then the pandemic hit, and I think we finished it over on VTT, but it's been done for a while. So yes, it's been sitting for 2 years. I don't want to say it's in development because that sounds like, oh my God, it's been a mess or something. It was just fantastic from the start. We loved it. We played it, and then we revisited it, and it's been great. So Daryl did a great job, and it will come out next year for sure.
Right, and that's the other thing too. Is like folks mentioned, like superpower companions have been shipped out to folks, and we needed to wait until that went out before we really started to launch some of these other.
That's right.
And we've got multiple cool superpower. There is a whole, shall I say, board game in the works that if you backed our superpowers companion, you've seen some of the property that we're going to make the board game out of. That is super awesome. Doomguard.
So many spoilers, Chris. Oh my gosh.
I know. That's what we do on these streams. That's what we get, right? Like
and that is another thing about Doomguard, actually, is for people that played Necessary Evil like the original, the Doomguard world is basically the Necessary Evil world after the aliens are gone. So for anybody that's like, I'd like to go back to that world after we kick the aliens off our planet, Doomguard gives you that opportunity to go back to that world and see what else you can mess up. And there are a few things Shane and I have gone back and forth on about bringing in some of the stuff that's survived the original storylines and survived, like also breakout level stuff.
Something survives.
That's right.
That's so good. So we need to get Sean on before the game because Sean and Jody are going to be joining us top of the hour in Riffs. So
and Chuck.
And yes. Oh yes, we've got goodness. We've got some. Let me throw up a little thing. So thank you, Jody and Clint. We will see you guys over this Halloween weekend more. I appreciate you guys joining us. Sean, let me just throw up this piece of goodness you can comment on because it's amazing. So tell us about this costume.
There's a few times I did basically this kind of skull face paint, but my favorite was it was Halloween. I was spending it with my family, and I needed to go grab some stuff for the Halloween party. And I went to the store, and apparently I didn't realize. I thought it's Halloween, no one's gonna care, right? Apparently it looked very Day of the Dead, like Dia de los Muertos. And so I had about half of the people freaking out in the local Randall's shopping market. So yeah, that was pretty awesome to see that it had an effect on some people.
I thought you were throwing a Riffs cover. And I
What's that? Oh yeah, right.
No, you got to tune in. You got to tune into the actual play to see the amazing Aaron Riley art for that.
Right. And then that photo was a couple of years later. I did it again, but I wore an arming jacket, gambeson, and full plate mail, legs and arms on that, and so that was pretty cool too to go dancing the night away on a Halloween night. So hard to drive though in full plate. It gets tight with grabbing that steering wheel. So
tell us about the actual play that's coming up here pretty quickly at the top of the hour.
Well, we're going to be previewing an adventure from Terror on the Dark Frontier, and this is one of the ones that I read it and I was just like, dang, this is a banger. And I had to reach out to the writers because I was like, which one of you guys wrote this? But it was really great. I immediately told Kevin Simbita about it. He loved the ideas too. And it takes one of the iconic Riffs monsters, the spirit monster, and it zooms in and gives you a whole adventure around it, which is a lot of fun. And so instead of doing something that's in sort of the plot point campaign that we have lined up for Terror on the Dark Frontier. This is one of the adventures. There's multiple adventures for each of the different regions that you can adventure in as well. So you can really explore the region, have some fun, laid back before you get into the plot point campaign. You can, take a little side detours or adventure after the main campaign is done. And we just want it to feel like a real living environment, along with each region, each sub-region has its own travel tables for different encounters you can get, as well as a fully blown enemy encounter table. So there should be like tons and tons of goodness in this book. I think people are really going to enjoy it. But again, this one, we're going to have a lot of fun with it, and I can't wait to show everyone the full glory cover by Aaron J. Riley. He really nailed it once again. And it's really great stuff that we got going on. And then of course that is coming along. That's going to be coming along with The Land of a Thousand Islands. It's the South America book. We're super excited about that. So it'll be a world book paired with the first ever Rifts campaign box set that is going to have pawns in it. It had a lot of classic Rifts monsters. It's got new character options, so you don't feel like the characters won't have gamers won't have something to do. It has basically sort of like we did with the juicer. It has upgrade edges for your cyborg to now be a cyber slinger, for your crazy to be a wired gunslinger, right? For your priest, which is coming in South America, to be a fire and brimstone preacher. So it's a lot of classic Rifts, New West tropes and Southwest tropes, all in an adventure campaign box set, paired with a new world book that has even new kinds of magic, as well as an entire new pawn set too, which has a bajillion new pieces of wonderful, beautiful, amazing art. Alita was just on, and I just have to, and Aaron, I just want to point out how great they've been doing, and each time we've done Savage Rifts, each next production line of products, the art just keeps stepping up, and so I've been really impressed with that, and super happy to be working with Alita.
Awesome. Yeah, and so folks, that'll be coming to a game changer here once we wrap up the Pine Box Middle School and Horror Companion Kickstarter, and so it'll be probably our last crowdfunder of the year, we think. And just to help you guys be able to like survive the holidays and still be able to pick up all the goodness, we're going to make it a pretty long game changer. And so we think we'll do more than just a couple weeks on that, so you guys can save up. So like when you get those gift cards from Grandma, you can spend it on
Grandma money, yeah.
Right, Grandma money. You can spend it on
Grandma
those
money
Rifts
incoming.
box sets.
Yeah. So we want it to be a slow burn. I'm also going to be launching, this art is from Titan Robotics, which I'll be launching very shortly. I'm working on the Kickstarter page right now.
And there is a Savage Worlds tie-in with that, so that's the best
there's a
part.
Savage Worlds tie-in. So if you back that Kickstarter, then you will also get the Savage Worlds conversion for the, I think it's 12 power armors, 17 robot vehicles, 37 weapons. I mean, it's crazy. So it's a new race, a new class, a new kind of framework. So I think people will really enjoy that as well. So
Perfect.
Yeah, it's time to be a Rifts gamer.
It is. More of Sean in 20 minutes on this same great Rifts channel, Rifts Time. So yeah, 20 minutes from now, we'll be doing an actual play. So we appreciate you joining us, Sean, and we'll let you get ready for the game. Awesome. Okay, Chuck,
Yes.
you've been patient. Thank you for waiting,
That's
sir.
all right.
I want to throw this up because there's some art. There's some great art that's coming from you guys. So if you want to talk about what we see in this little graphic,
Okay.
explain the goodness.
Explain the goodness. Well, Pinnacle and Outland Entertainment joined forces for Outrider Publications. We started talks way earlier in the year. We have since done the middle graphic that shows the book and the digital. That was Dead Man's Hand. We did a Kickstarter on, went really well, that we're happy with. Then Shane has been writing the picture to the right as you look at the screen. That's for Rise of the Black Circle. Shane wrote that. Stars a lot of classic Deadlands characters and adventure, and has art. I'm blanking on the artist. Who's the artist, Shane? Who's your artist? Help me.
For Rise of the Black Circle?
Yes.
He's your
Aaron Palsmere.
Oh yeah, Aaron. Yeah.
Aaron. Sorry. Baltimore Comic Con starts tomorrow, so forgive me. I'm a little brain dead. And then the latest is the picture all the way to the left, Raven. We're going to be launching that on Kickstarter on November 8th, and that will run for 3 weeks. So we hope everyone will check it out. it's a fun story. Matt Cutter and I co-wrote that back in the day. We took all the little bits and pieces of Raven's history that have been revealed in the game and tied them all together into one big epic story that goes from his very beginnings in his boyhood all the way up to leading into the future Deadlands setting. So yeah, it was fun to write. I got to do some really crazy stuff. I don't want to say what all is in there because I don't want to spoil it for anybody, but you will see some massive big fight scenes and all the classic Deadlands elements and a lot of the classic characters all tie in, and I thought it came out very well.
We're super excited. I mean, you guys do such great work. The books are gorgeous in print. I mean, super impressive. And it's just so much fun to see Deadlands and then hopefully other Savage Worlds properties get those treatments. It's just the world of Deadlands is about like a universe now, and so many other people bringing their artistry to it is really fantastic. So to remind us again, so it's next month is the Kickstarter for Raven.
November 8th, yes.
Okay. Oh, so sooner. Okay, so not that.
Yeah, just in a week or so.
Awesome. So we will remember. So in our newsletter, guys, I think on Tuesday we will definitely have the link to join that Kickstarter. Raven is one of the quintessential Deadlands characters. So we're excited to see, and that art, chef's kiss. So
yes,
right, it's gorgeous. So before we let you go, sir, so we only got a few minutes left. What's your favorite Pinnacle, Shane, Halloween costume and/or middle school memory you want to share with us?
I think the favorite memory I have with Shane was when we got the license the first time for Deadlands. Back then it was just my studio. I was not working with Outland. So I wanted to get a license for my studio to show some credibility of our studio, give it some, up its reputation. And I thought I was going to have to fight hard to get a license because, who am I? I'm just some little guy with some little company. And I got a hold of Shane's contact info and reached out to him, and I was ready to make my arguments, how we would do it better, how we would work more directly with you. And basically I asked, and Shane said, okay.
He's a cool dude like that.
I guess it was timing. He wanted to get some more stuff out in fiction and comics, and so it was a perfect opportunity. But yeah, it's been fun to work with ever since. So
you had a good plan when you presented it, though. I mean, I remember it. I still have it. In fact, it's in my archives. I saw it not too long ago.
Oh, cool. Yeah, but I thought I'd have to argue the plan. Is what I mean. I would have to convince you of my desire to.
The benefits of being the crazy owner of a little game company is that you can be crazy and do whatever you want. So
there you go.
Sometimes you do it and it works out, and sometimes it doesn't. But with you and I, the work that we have produced, I think speaks for itself, and I'm very proud of it.
Same here, and honored. I'm glad I got to do it.
Same here.
And more coming. I know we're being sentimental.
It's good though. It's good. It's like it. So so again, guys, we are a small company, but we did want to show you there are real people behind the emails when you see us and behind the production of these things, and it does mean so much to us when you guys share our Kickstarters and buy our products, and the people send in the costumes that they do when they're Deadlands characters. Like there were some great ones from one of the Doomtown events. They're just like, oh my god, people. So we love you embodying our stuff and Pinnacle and Outland. It's super Halloween themed, right? The greatest horror stuff you can pick up. So thanks for joining us, Chuck. We look forward to the Ravens Kickstarter. But we'll have you back on when the Kickstarter's on, so we can talk more in depth about what's going on.
And I can't wait to show people the other stuff that Outland is going to do for us. There's a lot coming, and it's really amazing.
So we will make that happen when we have more time. We appreciate you.
No worries.
Cheers, Chuck. Awesome. And let's see, one more. Daryl, sir, welcome. Awesome. So before we get to the last three guys, because you guys all have amazing Savage World stuffs coming up, I need to play a little video from Amy. So if you guys didn't know, Sigil and Sigil Services is a brand new company that kind of Amy and her crew of like dozens of programmers have been doing amazing work for both of us for so long that she set herself up as the one-stop shop, the leader in the industry of having RPGs converted for virtual tabletops when it's not done by the platforms themselves. And actually, when we did a little review, Amy does more for the platforms than they do themselves every year. So Sigil Services is a place where if you are a developer, we have some Savage Worlds aces who are actually stepping up and getting their stuff done, which is amazing. But if you want to bring your RPG to the virtual tabletop space, you better fight hard for calendar space because Amy is full on up. But she did want to say hi and wish you guys all a happy Halloween. So let's play that, and then we'll round out the last few minutes of our hour with Michael Bryan and Daryl telling you what goodness they have in store.
And it's got to be all of us like open our mouths and then we just kill the stream. Like
secrets will be revealed.
Welcome to Halloween 3, friends and gamers. I'm Dr. Amy Bliss Marshall of Sigil Services, and me and my team are the folks who convert your Savage World stuff to virtual tabletop. We're super excited about all of the cool things being talked about today, and we'll continue to support all of our lines like Rifts, Savage Pathfinder, Deadlands, and Holler for Roll20 and Foundry VTT. Hope you have an awesome stream, and we look forward to all the games you get to play this weekend.
So thanks, Amy. Amy's such a wonderful team player. She works so well with everybody to get all of the stuff done. And just one little caveat for folks who are like, why aren't you putting the VTTs in the Kickstarters now? So we don't want to stop the production cycle, and we have to give Amy completed files. So like the files that come, like when the printer prints the book and it's done, those are the files that have to go to Amy, and then her team gets to do them. So there is a little longer production schedule for that, and so that's why we don't offer them during the Kickstarters, because we don't want to have a Kickstarter open for an extra couple months while the team works on it, and that way we can't run another Kickstarter and bring you guys the stuff you love. But that does not at all mean, it has not changed at all, the production cycle of Amy and her team getting that stuff, and they have done an amazing job. Like the Foundry version 10 threw everybody for a loop in the industry, and I think within about 2 weeks she got all of our backlog compatible for V10. So kudos to the entire team for all that work. So yes, pretty much all of our stuff, all of it, will come to VTT at some point. There's really, I don't think we've yet made the decision that there's something that people don't want to play virtually. So just that's where that stuff's coming from. And then last but not least, everybody, let's go around the clock. Michael. So, Sir Barbeau, let's see if we can get you to blush. Savage Pathfinder, huge, amazing property, great partnership. Can you give us a little hints about what the next crowdfunder offering is now that we've already done Rise of the Rune Lords, and we've already done Curse of the Crimson Throne, and we've done the Advanced Player's Guide? What might be next? Any hints?
I don't know. There's somebody on the other side of the screen who might get mad at me.
He won't get mad on purpose. He's not there. He can't hurt you. He can't hurt you, Mike.
No, I might have actually even spoiled this in the past. For Savage Pathfinder, we are working on another bestiary or bestiary, depending on what you want to do. I know people love monsters.
Is it a book full of bests or a book full of beasts?
I mean, both.
Saying.
But yeah, whether
pineapples, it's a book full of pineapples.
Yeah, whether you're playing Savage Pathfinder or just Savage Worlds Fantasy or whatever, there are tons of great monsters. And then we're also going to put out, thank you. We're also going to put out another player-based book, which will be focused around more class edges, maybe some powers, things like that. Really trying to tackle some of these long desired class edges. I know people have been screaming for the Magus and the Gunslinger for a while, and so I can only hold off so long before I figure I have pitchforks at my door.
Oh, so good. Okay, so you don't have to spoil anymore. That is fantastic. And that really should answer a lot of questions folks had during the last Kickstarter, because the APG was a huge popular offering during that. And folks are like, how much longer do I have to wait for more of the goodness? We want more of those classes. So we're not going to make you wait too much longer. But we do want the last round of books to come in and get printed and in your hands before we launch that. So it'll be a few months, folks. So don't yell at us on when it's going to be. It'll be after you get the gorgeous. I mean, the first box sets came in, and folks are still posting on Facebook. I mean, it's been months that they've been available. If you haven't picked up the original box set, it's fantastic. I'm going to be playing in a game of it soon, so I'm excited.
It's one of those things where it's still new enough to me that whenever I see somebody like post like that, or somebody like playing, with their son, like their half-orc monk brothers and stuff, like that stuff still touches my heart, because in my mind, Like somebody just said, not too long ago, who am I, right? Like I still have that outlook. And so it very much warms my heart to see all you.
Now the people of Paizo know your name, sir, and they literally said, we're so impressed with the work you did that we're going to allow you to write original material. So yeah, that's pretty cool, dude. Just a little goal that a lot of people have in the industry to like be known and have it be awesome, but you did it. And so awesome, sir. Okay, so that's enough for you, Mike. You don't have any more time, but I would hint that maybe you might be working on that board game, one of them that we're doing, but I'm not going to say anything about that.
I do want to say, for that, anybody who will be at BGG Con in a couple weeks, come down Prototype Alley, hunt me down. There is an awesome game being played, and you can check it out early.
That is so awesome.
Rumor has it a certain Englishman may be there as well.
Ooh.
Oh,
if you want to watch me mock Simon for endless hours.
We do.
That's good that you mock Simon because he's kind of mock British.
Right, the Welsh. It's like true value British.
Pretty American at this point.
It's true. That's true. He's a full-on citizen, I think. I think they finally let him in, which is why anybody? I mean, this is why we build the wall, folks, to keep Simon in Wales, not in America. That's what we did it for. Hadrian's Wall. That's good. Anyways, the next great comment. Thanks, Mike. Daryl lost.
Ha! You sucker, Brian. You got to wait.
Oh, my God.
I strike like lightning. I'll be really
We're
fast.
saving Brian for last because he's going to tell us about some other cool stuff. But so, Daryl, sir, you just finished an amazing Lost Colony, Marvel Oblivion.
Refinished. Yeah.
Right,
It was
right.
a big team effort. It's a great book. But really, so the focus now, because when I say I strike like lightning, I am kind of like everywhere, moving around, finishing projects to get them out. That's why Necessary Evil is like the main focus, which is why ain't no if about it coming out in 23. Oh, it's going to be out, right? And the fun thing is I'm also getting to work on Necessary Evil 1 and 2 to make sure that we'll have stats compatible with the Super Companion so people will be able to do the whole storyline together if they want. That's the one big thing. And then because we got a little
updated, all new art.
Yes.
Will be gorgeous.
Which we're making Alita do. Thank you. Yeah. And then the other thing is, because since we're about to do our round 2 with Legend of Ghost Mountain, I get to take the extra time and buff it up, add more stuff. We're not just repackaging it. We're going bigger, bolder. We're like, all right, we've got time. Let's add even more to it to hopefully make it even more enticing the second time around. And it's going to be bundled with something freaking incredible, which I don't think we've announced yet. So it'll be another double header, and it's going to be awesome.
The double header's gone great, folks. We were curious if we'd be able to. It's hard with all the pledge levels, right? It's like, oh, we got but you guys have done great with it. You figured
it out. You're all
so
smart gamers.
We might just do another one. That'll be amazing. So thank you, Daryl. We're looking forward to that. And then last, certainly not least, Mr. Brian, tell us what goodness that you've been working on will be coming to Deadlands in the new year.
Yeah, so I spent the summer writing the bulk of Abominable Northwest, which will be the next setting book for Deadlands.
So many Sasquatches!
Northwest. Oh, yeah. Yes. So it'll take you to Washington, Oregon, and Idaho. Take your posse up this way.
And you actually live up there, so it's totally authentic.
I do. And I've been to almost all the places that I got to write about, which is even more fun.
Has actually fought the monsters in the book.
Sadly, no. These places are not quite as interesting in real life as they are in this book, I will say. But including my home.
I think Clint decided that it's not a stealth of Squatch. That's a good one, John Doom. I think we're going with Blur. Blur of Squatch is the collective noun, which is pretty good. We do need to figure out what the plural of Sasquatch is. Don says Squeech, and I'm gonna, if I have any power, vetoing Squeech. No, there's got to be something better.
There's got to be something.
We've got time to figure that out. So, folks, if you have a good idea for a plural of Sasquatch, is it Sasquatches, Sasquatch-I, Sasquatchmum? I mean, whatever it is, let us know. Send in the ideas. We'll give you a little credit in the book, maybe.
Squeech is growing on me.
Oh no!
I mean, it has the added
I mean, growing like a toe fungus or like
it has the
ear
added
ta-
benefit of irritating you.
Right.
So that's a strong contender.
A group of them should be called a pummel.
Ooh, that's a good one too. Awesome. So, guys, we are only like 7 minutes late. Sorry we didn't get more time with Mike and Daryl and Brian, but they are bringing some great stuff in the new year. So we will have them back to talk more about that. But what did we let you go? We are bringing so much goodness to. Oh, Christian's like just Sasquatch. It's like goose and geese or mice. Anyways, never mind. It's
boring, Christian. Boring.
So there's so much goodness coming over this week of Halloween. So guys, there's like 5 tickets left for games. So if you want to get in on the last few seats of awesome RPG, they're all free. Tabletop.events. Go there.
Yeah.
It's the second convention at the top. Brian's running some games. Thank you, sir. And,
I still have room in my Saturday game.
Okay. So yeah, Brian, yeah.
For those who are daring enough to try it.
Go play with Brian. It'll be
Tales
fun.
from the Crypt.
Oh, that's right. That was so good last year when you ran that. Oh, I loved it.
Let's just say if there's still seats on Saturday, I'll be in one of them.
Right. We're gonna grab it.
I hope so. Yes.
So awesome, folks. So join us. Give us about 5-6 minutes, and then we'll get the Rift's actual play stream live on all the same places you're watching these. And the other than that, enjoy Halloween. Enjoy the upcoming stuff. There will be more of these wonderful kind of like get-togethers and just tell you what we're doing stuff upcoming. But yeah, and also, how can I forget? Right now, there is a Kickstarter, Pine Box Middle School and the Horror Companion. It is over 1,000 backers. Thank you all for showing up so strong for that. We've unlocked the Cthulhu Lovecraftian horrors, and we are steaming our way towards Gaslight archetypes. And I think we're very, very close. So help us get out the word by sharing your love of Savage Worlds and of horror this Halloween season. And we appreciate you guys, and we'll see you soon. Cheers, folks.
Bye.